Welcome back to another video where today we're going to read an article from Parkplace discussing how the Game Awards, the Game of the Year nominations, and most of the Game Awards outside of few have no really any the message games. So we're going to read the article. Game Awards reject modern woke titles with official nominations. Is Geoff Keighley feeling heat from stuttering critics to real Game Awards? Geoff Keighley, the Game Awards, announced nominations today on YouTube live stream, and it wasn't what the public expected. Most anticipated that the 10th iteration of Keighley's annual awards, which is typically driven by corporate interests and the legal game journalists, at least would celebrate failed woke titles like Dragon Age: The Veilguard, Concord, Dustborn, and Star Wars Outlaws. However, these games received very little attention with fanfares like Black Myth Wukong and Astro rule the day. It's possible that this about face could respond to Thuring's credits of Sidescrolls launching his own video game award show dubbed the Real Game Awards. The nominees of the games. The games mentioned above weren't even up for the games for Impact Award, which celebrates thought-provoking games with profound pro-social meaning. According to Keighley, those four titles with the heavily handled identity politics, social messaging seemed poised to dominate that category, with many expecting at least one to appear for other big awards like Game of the Year, Best Direction, and more. The presentation was, of course, hosted by Keighley, a man who never backs down from an opportunity to be on camera, despite its listed start time at 11:30. The stream began with a 30-minute countdown. Once Keighley actually appeared, the nominations took only 11 minutes to announce. The big nominees this year were Astro Bot, Final Fantasy Rebirth, which had 7 nominations each, including the coveted Game of the Year. Up next was Metaphor Refantato with 6 nominations. Black Wukong, a widely popular action game from China, received 4 nominations. This surprised many as the game's journalists industry attacked the Chinese game before its release, alleging sexism issues with the developer. Many took this as another sign that things were changing. Eyebrows collectively raised during the announcement of the Game of the Year nomination, listed among them with Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Eatery of the original title, which won Game of the Year in 2022. Full exploration of the DLC can take in excess of 40 hours, so while it is DLC content, its size does triple that of a standalone game. Still, it was odd to see a DLC expansion listed among so many heavy hitters. The other nominations for Game of the Year include Astro Bot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Metaphor Refantato. Star Wars Outlaws, the much maligned and extremely buggy Ubisoft failure in Galaxy Far Far Away, only garnered 2 major award nominations. Humberly Gonzalez, who plays K-Vest in the game, was nominated for Best Performance. Woman made up 4 of the 5 nominations in this category in 2024. The game was also named for Best Action Adventure Game, despite Ubisoft admitting recently that the title underperformed. Outlaws also got a nod for Best Accessibility Feature. Veilguard was also nominated for the same category. This was only nomination for Veilguard, an agenda-driven BioWare RPG which failed to break 100,000 concurrent players on Steam. Concord, a live service game that Sony shuttered only after 2 weeks, and Dustborn, a game that weaponized cancel culture, received no nominations. Keighley ended the broadcast by urging players to cast their vote for the award winners. However, that's not going to do much in the long run. The Game Award nominations and winners are decided primarily by a committee made up of legacy access media game journalists from Outlaws like IGN, Polygon, and Variety, who all hate gamers mostly, IGN being a little exception. While the public votes on winners, the public score only counts for 10% of the actual result. The jury gets 90%. 90% control over who wins and loses. The unbalanced power dynamic was what led Southern Cred of Cyclers to launch his own award show dubbed the Real Game Awards. Year after year, over and over and over again, the Game Awards people say there has to be a real award show for gamers. Southern Kid said in his official announcement back in March, "Well, let's do it." The new show winners are voted by players, with no legacy access, involvement, and no corporate sponsorship, the exact opposite of how Keighley's show has operated for the last 10 years. Craig's show appears to have rattled Keighley, who had recently tried to file a trademark with the U.S. Patent Office for the Game Awards, and this would, if accepted, prevent others from running their own award shows with an incredibly generic term Game Awards. In their title or description, Keighley's filing marks the first time he's tried to trademark the name, even though he's been running the award show for a decade. The only difference this year is that there's a new game in town that's getting ton of traction. It's unlikely that Keighley will succeed in its first attempt to trademark this term, as the U.S. Patent Office has laws against trademarking common use terms. It's unlikely that Keighley will succeed in its attempt to trademark this term, as the U.S. Patent has laws against trademarking common use terms. Do you think the threat of the Real Game Awards made an impact on the Game Awards nominations 2024? It sounds off. There's the comments. My thoughts are yes. I mean, we saw this. I mean, there's no. I mean, we saw this last year. Last year had a controversy and this year did too. Although one controversy had to be in the Game Awards. Considering last year they didn't put it in, but it made Hogwarts Legacy was the most selling game last year, and I think Black Myth Wukong is going to be the same thing. But so Blade, same with Hogwarts, suffered from coming out too early. I mean, so Blade had controversy, and there's at least, unlike Hogwarts, they actually have 2 nominations in the games for action and music. And I think Blade will win the best music, and they might win both. But I think they're realizing that people want actually games like this. I mean, the game Blade and Wukong might be an average game, but it's just a game. No, nothing else. It's just a simple game. The point is to have fun, and that's what it is. It looks like he's also afraid from that Real Game Award thing. So let me know what you think about this. I might make one tomorrow or another Johnny Boy video. We shall see. Or I think that's actually going to be Thursday's thing, yeah. But see you tomorrow. Until next time, peace.